Long ago in the land of Israel, nestled among the hills and valleys, lived a woman named Hanna. Her heart was full of kindness, and her devotion to God was unwavering. But despite her deep love for God, she carried a sorrow that weighed heavily upon her soul. You see, Hanna had no children. In the culture of her time, being a mother was considered one of the greatest blessings a woman could receive. And more than anything, Hanna longed to be a mother. Her heart yearned for the joy of holding a child, raising him or her in the ways of the Lord. But year after year, her arms remained empty. Hanna was married to a man named Elkanah. He was kind, loving, and treated her with great respect. Elkanah cared deeply for Hanna and was troubled by her sadness. He tried to comfort her, but even his love couldn't fill the void in her heart. Yet Elkanah also had another wife named Peninnah, and Peninnah had many children. She was blessed with a large family, and her children filled her home with laughter and noise. But Peninnah, in her own way, used her many children as a tool to hurt Hanna. She often taunted her, making cruel remarks about Hanna's inability to bear children. One day, as the family prepared for a festival, Peninnah looked at Hanna with a smirk and said, "Oh, Hanna, still no baby? Maybe next year." Her words were sharp, like daggers aimed straight at Hanna's heart. Hanna felt the sting of Peninnah's words deeply, but she did not reply. Instead, she turned away, her eyes welling up with tears, her heart breaking in silence. Elkanah, seeing his beloved wife in so much pain, tried to comfort her. "Hanna, why are you so sad? Am I not better to you than 10 sons?" he asked gently, his voice filled with concern. But even with Elkanah's love and kindness, Hanna's heart ached. No matter how much he tried to reassure her, the longing for a child never left her. She couldn't escape the feeling that there was something missing in her life, a child to love, to nurture, and to raise for the glory of God. Every year, the family made a pilgrimage to Shiloh, to worship the Lord and offer sacrifices. It was a time of great reverence and tradition, a time when the people of Israel gathered to honor God and seek His favor. Hanna went with Elkanah and Peninnah, but this time, her sorrow weighed so heavily upon her that she couldn't stay in the company of others. So one day, while everyone else was busy with the festivities, Hanna quietly slipped away. She walked alone, her heart broken, her spirit in turmoil, to the temple of the Lord. The temple was majestic, a place where people came to pour out their hearts before God, seeking His mercy and grace. It was here, in the presence of the Lord, that Hanna hoped to find peace. As she entered the temple, Hanna could hardly contain her sorrow. Her heart was so full of grief that she could not speak a single word. She knelt down before God, her hands trembling, her heart pouring out in silent prayer. With tears streaming down her face, she whispered in the quiet of her soul, "Lord, if you will give me a son, I will give him back to you, to serve you all his life." Hanna's prayer was not just a request, it was a vow. She made a promise to God that if He answered her prayer, she would dedicate her child to His service. It was a prayer of faith, a prayer of deep trust that God would hear her and fulfill her longing. Eli, the priest of the temple, noticed her praying. He had been watching her from across the room, and when he saw her lips moving but heard no sound, he became suspicious. Thinking she might be drunk, he approached her and asked, "Why are you here, woman? Are you drunk?" Hanna, though heartbroken, spoke respectfully, "No, sir, I am not drunk. I am pouring out my soul to the Lord." Eli looked at her closely, and as he saw the sincerity in her eyes, he realized his mistake. He softened his tone and said, "Go in peace. May God grant your request." Hanna wiped her tears, a sense of calm washing over her. She believed, truly believed, that God had heard her. She knew that her prayer had been heard and that the Lord was faithful to His promises. And as if by a miracle, God did hear her prayer. In the months that followed, Hanna found herself expecting a child. The joy she had longed for filled her heart, and she knew that this child was a gift from God. When the time came, she gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Samuel, which means God has heard, because truly God had heard her prayers and had blessed her with the child she had so desperately wanted. Samuel grew quickly, a bright and joyful boy. Hanna's love for him was boundless, and she cherished every moment with him. But even as she held him in her arms, she remembered the promise she had made to God. She had promised that if God gave her a son, she would dedicate him to the Lord's service. When Samuel was old enough, Hannah took him to the temple, just as she had vowed. There, before Eli the priest, she knelt down and said, "This is the boy I prayed for, and now I give him to the Lord." With a heart full of love and gratitude, she entrusted Samuel to the service of the Lord, knowing that God had a great plan for his life. Hannah's sorrow turned into joy, and her heart was filled with praise for the God who had heard her cry. She stood before the temple, her hands raised high, her voice lifted in song. "My heart rejoices in the Lord. There is no one holy like him." Samuel grew up in the temple, learning to serve the Lord alongside Eli the priest. He became a great prophet, hearing from God and delivering his messages to the people of Israel. Samuel's life was a testament to the power of prayer and the faithfulness of God. Hannah's story is a powerful reminder of the deep love God has for us. No matter how dark or heavy life may seem, God sees our tears, He hears our prayers, and He always keeps His promises. When life feels heavy, when our hearts are burdened with longing, remember Hannah's story. Pray like Hannah, trusting that God is listening. He is always faithful, always hearing, and always answering our prayers in His perfect time. As we come to the end of Hannah's story, let us pause and reflect on the incredible journey she walked, a journey of faith, hope, and unwavering trust in God's timing. Hannah teaches us that no matter how deep our sorrow, no matter how long we wait, God is always near. He sees the silent tears we shed in the quiet moments when no one else is watching. He hears the whispered prayers we offer when words fail us. Life will often bring seasons of waiting, times when our hearts feel heavy with longing and our spirits feel weary. But Hannah's story reminds us that these seasons are not wasted moments. They are times when our faith is refined, our patience is strengthened, and our trust in God's promises grows deeper. When Hannah prayed with all her heart, she did more than ask for a child. She surrendered her hopes and dreams into God's hands, promising to honor Him with her most precious gift. This act of faith opened the door for God's miraculous work in her life, a work that changed not only her destiny, but the destiny of an entire nation through her son Samuel. And what about us? What dreams and prayers do we carry deep inside? What burdens do we hold that feel too heavy to bear? Hannah's story encourages us to bring these before God boldly and honestly, knowing that He is compassionate and full of mercy. He invites us to pour out our hearts to Him, just as Hannah did, with complete honesty and trust. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels slow or uncertain. His plans are greater than ours, and sometimes the answers to our prayers come in ways we never expected, ways that shape us, grow us, and prepare us for the future He has in store. So today, let Hannah's faith inspire you to pray with courage and hope, to trust God even when the road is hard, to believe that He hears every word, understands every sorrow, and holds every promise close to His heart. Remember, you are never alone in your journey. God sees you, He hears you, and like Hannah, you can find peace in knowing that He is always working behind the scenes, weaving your story into a beautiful tapestry of grace and love. As you face life's challenges, carry Hannah's song with you, a song of joy, a song of praise, a song of unwavering faith in the God who never fails. Thank you for sharing in Hannah's story, a story of prayer, promise, and hope. May it inspire your heart and deepen your trust in God's unfailing love. When life feels heavy, pray like Hannah. God is listening. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join us as we bring more powerful Bible stories to life, one voice, one prayer, one miracle at a time. Thanks for watching, and remember, when life feels heavy, pray like Hannah.